There's this thing that happens when you think about someone you used to be close to. You picture them, and the version that comes up is specific. It's not them last week or last year. It's them from a particular time. The way they talked back then, the energy they had that just doesn't exist anymore. Maybe it's the version of them from a specific year, when things between you felt easy in a way they never quite did again. Or the version from before something happened that changed them, before they got distant. And sometimes you catch yourself and realize you don't know if you actually miss them, or if you really just miss the version of them you can't let go of. There's a detail in Inception that gets this right. Cobb's memories of his kids are always around the same shot. Same clothing, same garden, same angle, and always from behind. He can never see their faces. The image is frozen at the last moment he had them, and his mind keeps replaying it in a loop. He can't update it because he wasn't there for the update. And I think that's what memory actually does. It doesn't store people. It stores the last version of them that meant something to you. And then it just holds it there, perfectly still, while the real person keeps moving. People change, they become someone else, but the version inside you doesn't get that information. It stays loyal to the moment it captured. And at some point you're not relating to a person anymore. You're relating to a memory. Ariadne tells Cobb that his version of Maul isn't really her, that he can't imagine what she was actually like as a full person, only what she meant to him. And Cobb doesn't argue because he knows it's true. That's what we do too. The version we hold on to isn't really them either. It's a composite of every feeling they produced in us. Every time being around them felt like exactly where we're supposed to be. We're not preserving a person, we're preserving an experience of ourselves. I think this is it. You're not just missing them. You're missing who you were when you're still that person. I think about Inception a lot in relation to this. Not because it was designed to be about it, but because it gets something exactly right. Maul is gone before the film even starts, but she keeps showing up in the dreams Cobb builds, and she doesn't show up quietly. She causes damage, gets in the way of things, and puts people at risk. But she feels like her, sounds like her, and knows things only she would know. He argues with her and flinches when she's in the room. That's not a man who's hallucinating. That's a man who just can't let go. What hits me is the version he built isn't even accurate. It's reconstructed through his grief, and the things she says to him are the things he believes about himself. Cobb and Maul didn't just have a relationship. They went into a dream world together and spent what felt like 50 years there. They built cities and grew old together. He's not with Maul, he's with what his mind turned her into after she was gone. And he keeps going back, because letting go of that version doesn't just mean losing her again. It means losing the version of himself that existed with her. There's another film that approaches this from the opposite direction. In Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, the main character doesn't hold on. He pays to have that person erased completely. Every memory, every moment, everything just removed. But even as these memories are disappearing, something doesn't go with them. The feeling he has stays. The pull toward that person stays. He keeps finding his way into moments he's actively losing, trying to hold on to something he already chose to give up. Cobb refuses to let go, while Joel tries to erase. These are two very different choices with the same result, because the thing they're both trying to get rid of isn't just the other person. It's the version of themselves that only existed with them. I think we do the same thing. Think about the way they used to answer the phone, or a specific thing they'd say when you're spiraling that would actually land. A way they laughed at something that felt like a little secret only you two held. Those specifics are what you carry, and the current person doesn't have them anymore. Or they do, but something doesn't translate. I think there's a second layer underneath that. You're also missing how you felt around them. That particular ease and safety. When they're gone, we miss that feeling, and the feeling is attached to the fleeting memory of them. Then there's a third thing. You miss who you were. The you that didn't overthink every conversation. The you that could just show up somewhere and not feel like you were managing yourself the whole time. Maybe the you that believed people were going to stay, things were going to work out, or just that good things were allowed to be this simple. I think that's why some loss is hidden away that doesn't make sense from the outside. Why someone you knew for 6 months at 24 years old can sit heavier than someone you're with for years later on. It's not about them. It's about who you were and what you're capable of feeling, what you were willing to let in. Without that environment, it really doesn't survive. And I think part of what makes that so hard to sit with is that nobody around you can actually see it. You can tell people you miss someone and they get it, but you can't easily explain that you're also grieving a version of yourself that only existed around them. A specific way of being that just doesn't have anywhere to go anymore. Because that's harder to say out loud. So a lot of people just carry it quietly, visiting that person in private, not quite sure why they keep going back. There's a scene early in the film where Cobb visits a basement full of old men hooked up to a dream machine. They come every day for respite. The man running it says the dream has become their reality, and reality has become the dream. Nobody forced them, they just kept coming back until the direction reversed. That's what it looks like when visiting becomes living inside of it. Cobb can't let go of the projection because letting go means more than losing her. It means losing the man he was when she was alive, the one who built a life with someone, who believed in a future. And I think that's what grief actually is a lot of the time. Not just the absence of someone, but the absence of yourself. The version of you that only existed in relation to them. I don't think you're supposed to destroy it. I just think you stop expecting it to be present. You stop measuring the current person against it. Stop going back for it for proof that things were real. The whole reason Cobb carries a spinning top is to test which reality he's in. If it keeps spinning, he's dreaming. And if it falls, he's awake. But the thing is, by the end of the film, you're not sure he even wants to know the answer. He sets it spinning and walks to his children before it decides. And I think that's the moment the movie is the most honest. Because that's what it actually feels like. You're not always sure you want to come back. The version feels like enough. Feels like more than enough. And that version of you was real. And maybe that's what you're actually holding on to. Inception eventually asked Cobb to choose between the version he built and the life that's still in front of him. And what makes it clear is that holding on doesn't stay contained. It bleeds out and touches things that have nothing to do with it. The version you carry starts acting on the present whether you want it to or not. We bring old versions into new relationships. We get hurt by things that shouldn't land that hard because they're grazing something that already has a wound in it. There's a difference between carrying something and living inside of it. One of them lets you keep it, and the other one slowly replaces what's in front of you. You're not grieving them. You're grieving the version of yourself that only existed when there's still that person.